St. Joseph's Oratory of Mount Royal stands high above the city of Montreal, on the western slope of Mount Royal itself. It is easily reached by public transportation, making it accessible to both locals and visitors. If you are traveling by metro, take the Orange Line to Côte d'Esnèges station. From there, it's about a 10-minute walk uphill along Côte d'Esnèges Road, or you can hop on bus 165 or 435, which will drop you near the entrance. Another option is to take bus 51, which climbs the mountain from Outremont and stops right by the Oratory gates. As you approach, you'll see the Great Dome rising above the trees, a landmark visible from many parts of the city. The climb from street level to the Oratory's main terrace is gradual and scenic, with gardens, stairs, and terraces that prepare you for the sense of calm waiting at the top.
St. Joseph's Oratory of Mount Royal, a place where history, faith, and architecture come together in harmony. Rising high above Montreal, this shrine is not only the largest church in Canada but also a symbol of devotion, perseverance, and hope. As the camera moves across the exterior, notice how the oratory crowns the mountain. From its base to the top of the Great Dome, the structure commands attention. It is both monumental and inviting, reminding pilgrims and visitors alike that they are stepping into a space shaped by prayer and vision. The grounds here are carefully kept, with long stairways leading upward. Each step is more than stone, it represents the countless pilgrims who have climbed in prayer, many on their knees, offering devotion to Saint Joseph, the patron saint of workers and families. Take a moment to admire the facade. Its classical lines, tall columns, and great entryway give a sense of majesty. Yet, despite the scale, the building is not cold, it feels alive, because it was built not only from stone but from the devotion of thousands of people inspired by one humble man, Brother André Besset. Brother André was a simple lay brother of the Congregation of Holy Cross. Small in stature, frail in health, and unassuming in manner, he nevertheless carried within him an extraordinary faith. He believed deeply in the intercession of Saint Joseph, and through his prayers many claimed to have been healed. People flocked to him, seeking comfort, counsel, and miraculous help. What began as a small chapel on this mountainside, built by Brother André's efforts and the gifts of the faithful, grew into the magnificent oratory you see today.
As we pass the steps and move inside, imagine the generations who have walked this same path. Pilgrims came from across Canada and around the world, leaving their struggles at the feet of Saint Joseph. Each step has been worn not just by feet, but by hearts lifted in prayer. Now, entering the votive chapel, you are surrounded by light. Hundreds of candles flicker in the dimness, each flame representing a prayer, a hope, or a thanksgiving. The atmosphere here is thick with reverence. The scent of melted wax and the quiet crackle of burning wicks create a space where silence speaks louder than words. Notice the crutches and canes left behind by those who felt healed through Brother André's intercession. They stand as silent testimony to lives changed and renewed. Whether one believes in miracles or not, the human stories behind these offerings cannot help but move the heart.
Moving deeper, we arrive at the crypt church. Its design is simple, yet powerful. The low arches and stonework give it a feeling of shelter, as though it embraces the faithful who gather here. This was the first large worship space built before the great basilica above, and it remains a place of intimacy within the vast complex. Climbing higher, the space opens into the grand basilica. Here the architecture shifts, soaring ceilings, clean lines, and modern forms direct your eyes upward. The organ, one of the largest in Canada, fills this hall with a sound that shakes both air and soul. As you look around, notice the mosaics and stained glass, each telling the story of Saint Joseph, of Christ, and of the journey of faith. The sheer scale of the basilica reminds us that what began with one man's prayer grew into something far greater, a sanctuary for millions. At the heart of the oratory lies Brother André's tomb. Here, the faithful pause to reflect, to pray, and to remember the life of the man who called himself only Saint Joseph's little brother. Even in death, he continues to draw pilgrims from around the globe. His canonization in 2010 made him Canada's first male saint, but long before that, people knew him simply as a friend, a helper, a man who brought hope where hope was needed.
Above all of this rises the Great Dome, second in height only to St. Peter's in Rome. From the outside, it dominates the Montreal skyline. From the inside, it creates a sense of limitless space, a visual reminder of the heavens. Step outside to the terrace, and the city unfolds beneath you. Mount Royal's trees, the urban streets, and beyond them, the horizon. It is a place where earth and sky, city and sanctuary, seem to meet. Saint Joseph's Oratory is more than an architectural marvel. It is a living testimony to the power of faith, the strength of community, and the enduring legacy of one man's devotion. Whether you come as a pilgrim, a tourist, or a curious visitor, you leave touched by something larger than yourself. So as this journey through the Oratory draws to a close, let us carry forward what this place inspires: perseverance in difficulty, compassion for others, and trust in the quiet power of faith. Saint Joseph's Oratory remains, as Brother André dreamed, a house of prayer for all people.